Welcome to Health Score. Today we're in the section on psychological health. We're talking specifically about the recommendation to enjoy life more. Let's begin with the definition and prevalence of life enjoyment. First, let's start with the definition of life enjoyment. CASP-19 is a common instrument used to measure life enjoyment in the research literature. It stands for control, autonomy, self-realization, and pleasure. It contains 19 items, the CASP-19, but recent research has used 4 questions from CASP-19 as a short form measure of life enjoyment. And the questions are responded to on a Likert scale for how often you feel the following. And it's never, rarely, sometimes, or often. If you respond never or rarely, you get 0 points. And if you respond sometimes or often, you get 1 point. If your total number of points is 0, 1, or 2, you're considered to have low life enjoyment. And if your score is a 3 or 4, you're considered to have high life enjoyment. So the measures are, how often do you experience the following? I enjoy the things that I do. Never, rarely, sometimes, or often. I enjoy being in the company of others. Never, rarely, sometimes, or often. On balance, I look back on my life with a sense of happiness. Never, rarely, sometimes, often. And I feel full of energy these days. Never, rarely, sometimes, or often. So you should now have a score, if you answered these questions, anywhere from 0 to 4, depending on how you selected. If your score is 0, 1, or 2, then today you're experiencing low life enjoyment. And if your score is 3 or 4, you're experiencing high enjoyment. Researchers have also looked at large populations to determine how many people are reporting high life enjoyment or a score of 3 or 4, and they've used repeated measurements over time. In this study, they asked people at baseline, and then they asked people every 2 years those 4 questions, and counted how many people on the 3 times they were asked never reported high enjoyment, how many people reported it 1 of the 3 times, 2 of the 3 times, and 3 of the 3 times. So about 1 in 4 people on the 3 times they were asked never had high enjoyment. About 20% had it on 1 of the 3 reports. Another 22% had it twice, and a little over 1 in 3 had high life enjoyment on all 3 occasions. That gives you a sense of a definition of life enjoyment and general prevalence of life enjoyment in a population over time.